What's up guys, Lomax here and welcome back to another Battleborn character guide. This episode will be featuring Benedict. Benedict, the Peacekeeper's Attacker, is a very mobile character whose crippled wing leaves him incapable of true flight. His supreme launcher and ability to glide across the battlefield make him a very dangerous character. Now let's see him in action and go over his abilities. Benedict's passive Flyboy allows him to perform a double jump in the air. Holding the secondary attack button while in midair will allow Benedict to glide for a short time. This passive makes Benedict a very mobile threat that can evade his enemies with ease. Benedict's weapon, his rocket launcher, will deal heavy damage in a large explosive radius at the cost of slower projectiles. This explosive radius gives Benedict tremendous wave clear, and the damage, along with his squishiness, makes him a true glass cannon. And you can have up to 5 rockets in one clip.
Man, have y'all noticed just how gorgeous I am right now? Oh!
As for Benedict's skills, his first is Hawkeye, which causes Benedict to fire a rocket which targets enemies upon damaging them for a few seconds. Any subsequent rockets will home in on targeted enemies. You can actually use the skill when you hit the end of your clip to get an extra rocket out of it, making you have 6 instead of 5. Liftoff, his second skill, is going to launch Benedict upwards. Combined with his passive, this makes Benedict one of the most mobile characters in the game, if not the most. His ultimate Boomsday allows Benedict to control a missile that deals big damage when it hits its target. Benedict cannot move while the missile is in flight. Reactivating Boomsday while it's traveling will cause it to detonate early. Now that we've seen his abilities, let's take a look at his helix tree. At level 1, we get a choice between Evasive Pattern Benedict and Persistent Projectiles. Evasive Pattern Benedict is going to make liftoff launch up and backwards rather than just up. This can increase your mobility by a good bit, as now you can propel yourself faster in a given direction if you turn properly. If you try to move forward, you can turn around and use liftoff to propel yourself in that direction. Persistent Projectiles will give Benedict an extra second on Hawkeye's target effect. This skill can give you an extra rocket or 2 that can home in on your target, which can't be a bad thing, right? I like both skills here. It's just too bad you can't take both of them. Evasive Pattern Benedict can make Benedict very hard to hit and allows him to move around the battlefield really quickly. Persistent Projectiles will make it easier to hit your rockets so long as you hit your Hawkeye rocket, and allows you to pump out more damage. But I think the longer Hawkeye target duration will be more useful than the backwards liftoff, because you don't really need the backwards liftoff. At level 2, we're going to get 2 skills that buff liftoff. Make Some Room and Wind Chill. Make Some Room will make liftoff push nearby enemies away upon activation, while Wind Chill will slow nearby enemies upon activation. I really like the knockback rather than the slow here. You're really only going to need to use this defensively, and the knockback will allow you to safely push away any enemy who jumps on you and give you time to distance yourself before you start unloading rockets. Plus, the slow only lasts 1 second and it's hardly noticeable. At level 3, we're going to get some buffs to Benedict's rocket. They are Ready Rockets and Speedy Delivery. Ready Rockets will increase Rocket Launcher's reload speed, while Speedy Delivery will increase the propulsion speed of Benedict's rockets. Both skills are actually really good here. The 30% reload speed is incredible, especially in PvE where you want to constantly be pumping out damage. The propulsion speed of the rockets is also nice to have because it makes Benedict's rockets a bit easier to hit, as they naturally move slowly. It's a bit more useful in PvP than in PvE where you have enemy players constantly moving around that can dodge your rockets. At level 4, we're going to get 2 potential buffs to Hawkeye. They are Rapid Reload and a Murder of Rockets. Rapid Reload is going to give Benedict an instant reload anytime he uses Hawkeye. So with this skill, ideally you want to empty your clip and then use Hawkeye. Your clip will be instantly reloaded, so you can fire 11 rockets in total without having to reload rather than the usual 5. This is a pretty sweet skill, as it can save you a reload potentially at a crucial time. With the murder of rockets, Hawkeye will launch 3 rockets rapidly, one after the other. This can provide with some awesome burst damage with a quick 3 shots, and each of the 3 rockets can apply Hawkeye's targeting mechanism. As for which skill is better, it's hard to say, as they're both pretty good. They both can be useful in different situations. I don't think one dominates the other, so try them both out and see what you like. At level 5, we're going to get 2 skills buffing Liftoff. Gladiator, you gotta love these names, and Tailwind. Gladiator is going to allow Benedict to perform a second air jump. Tailwind is going to increase Benedict's gliding speed. I haven't found Gladiator to be particularly useful, whereas Tailwind's flight speed increase can help you move around the map a little bit faster. But if you really want to double jump, then go for it. We're at level 6 now, so we're going to get 2 new skills, Blast Off and Heavy Bombardment. Blast Off is going to give Liftoff some additional damage to any nearby targets when Benedict uses it. Yeah, the problem I have with this skill is that you have to be close to your enemies to get the additional damage proc. Just remember that you're playing Benedict and you don't want to be close to your enemies. I'd much rather take Heavy Bombardment at level 6, which is going to give a damage increase to Benedict's homing rockets. More damage on multiple rockets seems like a much better idea than damage on Liftoff to me. I recommend taking this with persistent projectiles to give you more time to pump out homing rockets. At level 7, we're going to get 2 buffs for Benedict's Rocket Launcher, Danger Zone and Surgical Strike. Danger Zone is going to increase Benedict's launcher's area of effect radius by nearly half. This is a great skill because the splash damage from his launcher is nearly as high as his direct impact damage, dropping off as it moves towards the outside of the area of effect. This skill is great for clearing waves as the damage can spread out to more enemies. Surgical Strike is going to increase his rocket launcher's base damage while reducing its area of effect radius. This would be the best way to maximize your single target damage. At level 8, we're going to get 2 buffs to Liftoff, Frequent Flyer and First Class. Frequent Flyer is going to reduce Liftoff's cooldown time, allowing us to launch up into the air more. Not really much more to say than that. More glide time, I guess. First Class is a bit more useful as it gives shield regeneration upon use of Liftoff. This can be really nice to have if you're taken down to low health and by lifting off you can recharge your shields. At level 9, we're going to get 2 buffs to Hawkeye, Less Talk, More Hawk, and Party Starter. Less Talk, More Hawk is going to reduce Hawkeye's cooldown time, while Party Starter will increase Hawkeye's damage. This is again the age-old debate of cooldown versus damage. I like Party Starter, especially with a murder of rockets, which if you recall gives you 3 Hawkeye rockets. This will give you better burst damage, but something like Less Talk, More Hawk might be better for PvE, where you can get more Hawkeye shots in over time from the lower cooldown, which will help you with the steady stream of enemies. And finally we hit level 10, which will give us 2 skills that buff Boomsday, Hawkpocalypse and Rockets Launching Rockets. Hawkpocalypse is going to double the area of effect radius of Boomsday. This is the best option if you're looking to clear out a large area quickly, as the damage spreads out fairly far. Rockets Launching Rockets, on the other hand, is better for single target damage. With Rockets Launching Rockets, your Boomsday rocket becomes something like a fighter jet, and you can activate Boomsday a second time to shoot smaller projectiles out of it. And that's going to do it for Benedict, guys. He's a very tough character to master with his mobility and the speed of his rockets, but if you can play him well, it can be very rewarding. As always, guys, feel free to rate and comment down below. If there's anything you want to see from these guides, if there's anything you think I missed, let me know. I'm always reading the comments. Also, if you would like to see future videos, consider subscribing as well. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.
I told me! Together again, eh?